Hello guys, Handy Guy 2016 here. I got a new chop saw for my workshop out here. I'm going to show you that real quick, kind of go over some of the features, and then I will show you the old chop saw that I've been using and compare the two. So this is the Evolution. You notice it's got a metal blade rather than the abrasive blade. That's one of the big differences between the two chop saws. The metal blade type is quite a bit more accurate, I guess you'd say. Much cleaner cut, much more square in its cutting, and a lot cleaner. So anyways, it is a 14-inch metal chop saw. It's actually multi-material. You're able to use it for a lot of different materials: plastic, wood, metal, wood with metal embedded in it, you know, nails and things like that. So it has a lot of uses other than just a metal chop saw. And it is a 15 amp, so 14-inch 15 amp. I purchased this at Home Depot for $230. It was $229.99, so $230 plus tax, which is a really good price compared to a lot of them that I've looked at online. Comparing a few different ones, trying to figure out what I wanted, and this had the best price. Plus, I could get it. You know, it was available to me without having to have it shipped or anything like that. So, anyway, that's the Evolution chop saw, and I'll show you that in use here in a few minutes. And then here is the I guess you'd say Old Faithful, the chop saw that I've been using for years. And this is it's just a Harbor Freight Chicago Electric. It's a 14-inch 15 amp as well. But the big difference is that this is an abrasive wheel type of chop saw. So you see it's got this disc, and you see how much smaller it is. Well, that's because every time you make a cut with this type of chop saw, the disc wears down, just, you know, gradually, but depending on what you're cutting, you can wear those down pretty quick. And while it's doing that, you're losing some of your cutting depth every time you make a cut, and you're creating a whole lot of mess because that abrasive wheel, in fact, here's a good example of it down here below it. It just puts this abrasive dust everywhere. It's in the air, it's all over everything. Anywhere near what you're working on, it just goes everywhere. So you know, it's just not very clean. It's not that it doesn't get the job done, but it's not very clean, and the abrasive wheel has some flex to it. And so, you know, a lot of times when you're cutting something, your cut it's not perfectly square or perfectly straight, and depending on what type of metalworking you're doing, that could be a big problem. So anyway, I decided it was time to replace this one with something newer and better. Newer isn't always better, but in this case, this is definitely a step up. It's got a really nice work table, of course, adjustable fence. So, you know, you can change the angle on the fence. The clamp screws in and out. I kind of like that tri-handle wheel. All metal construction. You know, there's very little plastic on this except for just the housing cover and the handle. I think everything else on it is metal. And it's also got this little attachment. So if you're cutting round stock or an odd shaped stock, you know, that kind of stuff has a tendency to want to move around on you. And so it's got this little deal that just slides down over the clamp, and that allows you to cut something, you know, that's round or odd shaped, you know, maybe a hexagon or something like that. And it just attaches to the clamp, and that way you can hold that type of material in place. So I like that too. That's a nice little addition to it. So anyways, I have a project going on, and I need to cut this square tube. This is a 2-inch by 2-inch, 1/4-inch wall square tube, and I need to take about 4 inches off of it. I've got it marked to cut. Just one of the cuts I need to make today. I've got quite a bit of fabricating to do actually. So I'm going to get the old chop saw out of the way and go ahead and get this clamped in and set up the camera, and we'll do some actual metal cutting, show you how it works. Okay guys, this is the very first cut with the Evolution cut-off saw. Walked right through that like it was no big deal, and that is some pretty thick stuff. So, not to mention, nice clean cut, and it's not hot. I can touch it. I mean, it's literally still cool to the touch. So that's a big difference over the abrasive type chop saw as well. The abrasive type chop saw creates a lot of heat, so pretty nice. Guys, if you're in the market for a cut-off saw or a chop saw, again, it's a 14-inch, and this is the Evolution chop saw. I keep calling it a chop saw, but it's a multi-purpose saw. But for me, it's going to be my metalworking chop saw. So, highly recommend it. Definitely check it out. And again, I purchased this one at Home Depot for $230 plus tax. And it's quite a bit cheaper than some of the others I've looked at, and definitely seems to be high quality. Very, very impressed with how nicely it cut that 1/4-inch steel off. I mean, it literally just walked right through it. No big deal. So, well, everyone, I'm going to get on with my project. I've got a lot of work to do today, quite a bit of cutting and welding, fabbing to do. So, as always, get out there and make some money, and we'll catch you on the next one.